Greetings, 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 peace, love, harmony, and light. This is Chief Kalanago with a video. Hope everybody's doing well. All right, man, I'm doing great. I'm superb. It's a beautiful day. Giving thanks for life, acknowledging the great spirit, universal intelligence, the universal all. Want to give thanks to my ancestors. You know what I mean? But anyway, I wanted to come to a video because there was an article in the New York, I think in the New York Post, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or I heard there was some information on CNN. But I want to break some things down for y'all today because you see the mindset. You see this system plays on people's emotions. All right, they put people in a fear-based environment so that people cannot progress, people cannot grow. You feel what I'm saying? And the sad thing is, a lot of people have lost their way because they don't know who they are. People speak about culture, but don't even know what their culture is, not realizing their way of mind or the state of thinking. Right now, it is strictly a Europeanized mindset. And everything that is indigenous, they're going to tell you it's illegal. That's what they do. It's a system, it's systematic. The problem is this system don't want you to get out from underneath their feet. They want you to continue to be their slaves. So everything that involves indigenous people, whether it may be a practice, a culture, a way of life, they're going to tell you it's illegal. So what I'm going to do is, and I challenge anybody from the New York Post and anybody from CNN to tell me and prove to me that this is illegal. Any one of them. Because once again, all they want you to do is be their slaves. But we're really going to get into this. You see, me, I'm not afraid to challenge anything. Because I know the game that's being played. It's mind games. It's fear. That's what they do. The system thrives on fear, putting people in panic. Oh, nah, we got to keep these jobs. We got to beg Massa for the job because the only way for us to feed our family, Massa got to give us a job. You feel me? But I'm going to continue to drop the facts and the truth. And only those who are willing to stand up will. Like I tell folks, the race is not for the swift, but for those who can endure. Because too many of you, you're too swift, but you don't have the longevity or you don't have the stamina to endure. But let's get into this and let's read. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. Okay? Because I'm not afraid to challenge anything. All right? And I'm not afraid to talk about anything that I'm doing that's changing lives. And I'm not going to allow this system, okay, to demonize part of my ancestors' culture. I'm not doing that. Look, now I'm sharing my screen. And it's a problem to share. But, just give me a second. If it cuts off, then I'll have to try to log back on. Okay? Let's on here. Come on, man. Oh, so no, I can't share my screen. Can y'all hear me? Can you guys hear me? Because I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me? I need some confirmation if you guys could hear me. Can y'all hear me? Wow. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Can you guys hear me? Oh, I think we good now. I think we good now. I think we are good because I could hear it on my phone. All right. So I'm gonna assume that y'all can hear me and everything is good because I was just asking and I heard it on my phone. Okay. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna speak candidly like I always do. You feel me? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen and go to that I think it was, whatever it was, but I'm gonna hopefully I try sharing my screen. It's amazing, right? When you come with some truth and facts, the people in control, man, they're always trying to find a way to stop the truth from coming out. But I'm gonna go ahead and make an attempt to share my screen again. Okay. Share my screen. Share screen. All right. Right here. And let's go. So let me know if you guys could see what I'm showing you. Okay. Let me know if you guys could see what I'm showing you. Because we're going to get into this. All right. And I want to read this article from the Washington Post. Okay. I'm going to read this article from Washington Post. All right. Perfect. Thank you, brother. All right. So we talking about, this is a post from the Washington Post, and that was just a couple of days ago. All right. And it reads, and I also put that in the link below so y'all could do your own reading yourself. All right. It says, illegal pyramid schemes are on the rise during the pandemic. Well, first of all, y'all caused the pandemic. Okay. Y'all playing with people, putting this fake pandemic out there so people will be in panic because you want to control people's life. You see, what this system does, they create the problem and they give you the solution. And what you don't know is their solution is worse than the problem that they create. But you know what? Chief Kalanago is going to continue to speak that truth. I'm going to repeat myself. The system creates a problem, and the solution they give you is worse than the problem. That's what they do. Okay. So it says, a chain mail solicitation by any other name, blessing, loom, or susu is against the law. Says whom? Against whose law? Because first of all, your statutes and codes and ordinances are not laws. They are not laws. And you are not allowed to make any type of laws on indigenous land. You don't have that type of authority. But you see, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. No foreigner could make no laws on our land. Period, point blank. And until y'all get this, y'all got a long way to go. That's why I stopped doing this kind of videos, because again, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Because your entire life, every facet of your life is controlled by foreigners. And that's just the facts. Because you listen to their gossip, you listen to their news, everything that don't concern you, their civil rights movement, everything about their system has nothing to do with indigenous people. You feel what I'm saying? But it's a category that they created. Black, African American, Negro. They created these categories so that you could fit into the narrative of their societies. Okay? It's called a legal system that has nothing to do with indigenous people, because we deal with law. And legal and law are two different things. So I want any attorney, I want any senator, I want any president of the United States to come prove to me, okay, that a susu is a scheme. Come prove it to me. Prove it to me. Because that's part of indigenous culture for thousands of years. Okay? When the Jews do it, how come it's not a scheme? Because the Jews come together and they give each other and they open up businesses. How come it's not a scheme? When the Chinese do it, it's not a scheme. Because the Chinese come together, they put money together and they gift each other and they open up restaurants for each other. It's never a scheme when the Chinese do it. The Arabs come together, they gift each other and they open up gas stations. Every corner in your hood got a store that's owned by a foreigner. Okay? But guess what? That's not a scheme, right? That's all. You didn't know. That's what they do. The Koreans do it. The Koreans, they practice susu. They come together and they gift each other and they open up dry cleaners. You see, everybody has monopolized everything that pertains to indigenous culture. And they tell you it's illegal, but they use it. You see what I'm saying? That's what they do. The same thing with the plant. It's a plant. I don't care what you call it. I don't know who marijuana is. I don't know what marijuana is, even if I don't smoke it, but I know the creator planted it. They made it illegal. How many of your brothers and sisters and people went to jail because they told you that a plant that the Most High created and grew in the soil was illegal, until it became a thing where they could make money out of it, monopolize it, and now they want to make it legal? How long are you people going to allow yourself to be controlled by this system and to be enslaved by this system? Second of all, there is no such thing as a licensed lawyer or a licensed attorney. And go tell them Chief Kalanago said so. You see, that's how a lot of you get caught up in their system, because you don't know. You perish for the lack of knowledge. You feel me? You perish for the lack of knowledge. There's no such thing as a licensed attorney or a licensed lawyer, because they are not. There's no such thing as practicing law. You cannot practice law. It's just law. How can you practice law? A bar card from the Bar Association is not a license. It's a membership card. And they are all part of a legal society. And they're telling you what's legal and what's not, based on their policies and their codes. Policies and codes are not laws. At least I could tell you that much. It's not indigenous law. It is not indigenous law. So that has nothing to do with indigenous people. So when they get on their CNN and their New York Post, oh, Susus is a scam, says whom? But yet still y'all do it. Y'all do crowdfunding. What do you think GoFundMe is about? How is that they allow GoFundMe to practice such a huge scheme? Go look at all the other crowdfunding platforms. You see, it's okay for them to do it. It's totally okay for them to do it. But when we, the indigenous people, do it, all of a sudden it's a scheme. You know why? Because they don't want you to come out from underneath their grip. They want you to keep begging for jobs. They want you to keep begging them for food. They want you to keep begging them for health care. They want you to keep begging you for everything that you need. They want you to keep what? Begging for it. And my people will continue to suffer and perish for the lack of knowledge. And you have a lot of these idiots out there calling themselves American Indian and American Aboriginals, assisting the system, coming on videos, Helito, shut the hell up. Because you're nothing but a jackass, okay? And that's just facts. Y'all are nothing but Negroes calling themselves American Indians and Aboriginals with a Negropean mindset. Yes, I said it. You're nothing but Negropeans. Because forever we have been given to each other. That's what our culture is about. How many of you, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you gave your cousin $20 because your cousin was broke? When was the last time you gave your sister or your brother or a friend in need $100 because they was broke? Is that illegal? Come on, man. But these people will continue to put the fear of their God And I'm saying their God because their God is not my God. As a matter of fact, I ain't got no God because I am the God. But that's what they will do because they want you to remain in fear. They want you to stay in a position where the only way for you to be successful is for them to tell you when to be successful. Many of you running around talking about Black Wall Street. You don't know what the hell Black Wall Street was about. And I'm saying black, I'm using that term very lightly because we all know it was indigenous people. But of course, they gave us the false labels. What do you think so-called Black Wall Street was about? Huh? It was about indigenous people coming together and gifting each other and opening up businesses even where they have their own banks. Why do you think they had to burn it down? What's illegal about that? You feel me? Going to the Jewish neighborhoods in Brooklyn, they do susus all the time to the point where they have so much money, they own the precincts. But you know what? Chief Kalanago don't know what he's talking about. I'm just talking because I ain't got nothing better to do with my time. You feel me? And that's how I know a lot of you are not ready. You are not ready to step out of this system. You are not ready. You are not ready for your freedom. And that's why they put a dumb in front of free because you think it's free. They tell you if you think it's free, then you are dumb. Man, y'all don't understand the kind of system y'all are being governed by. But anyway, let me continue. I'm gonna go in today. Okay. Now it says, whoever this Eliza Briscoe was told that all she had to do was put $500 and bring in 2 additional people who would each contribute the same amount of money. In a little more than 4 weeks, she would be gifted or she would get $4,000 in return. Like so many others being recruited for a susu, Briscoe was nearly duped into a pyramid scheme. It says it's hard not to be sold on the altruistic and cultural backstory of the susu, also known as susu, a blessing loom or a gifting circle. The promoters pitched the susu as a common practice among Caribbean and African immigrants as a way to help their business grow. Briscoe was told that she would be helping other Black folks, some of whom may have lost their jobs because of the coronavirus. It seemed like it was legal, said the Maryland resident who reached out to me as part of her due diligence research. I didn't want to bring anybody in unless I knew for sure because I didn't want anybody to lose their money. Okay? It says, for the past several weeks, members of my church, friends, neighbors, and readers have asked me about the legitimacy of a susu or similar schemes in which they are promised that if they put up $100 in some cases or $500 in other cases, in a month or 2, they would get a return 8 times their cash outlay. But despite assurances by promoters, these blessings, susu or gifting circles are illegal. The hallmark of an unlawful pyramid centers on 2 key things: an upfront entry fee with the expectation of a significant payout and the requirement to persuade 2 or other people to join, who then must also bring in 2 more recruits. Eventually, the whole enterprise collapsed and the last folks coming in, the wide base of the pyramid, lose their money. In the recruitment videos and materials I received, promoters are specifically targeting Black recipients or participants, but it's a widespread in other communities too. Personal, church, or work relationships are exploited. The schemes involve different groups composed of 15 people divided into 4 levels, 1 at the top or the center, 2 on the second level, 4 on the third, and 8 at the bottom. In one version, the incoming 8 participants each send 500, 4,000 total to the person at the top through PayPal, Venmo, or some other cash app. The susu can appear to be a success because Early participants share testimonies of their substantial gains. Weekly conference calls serve to rally people with motivational presentations about how their involvement will help build wealth in the Black community. Just don't do it. Maryland Attorney General Brian E. Froge said in an interview, think about it. How is it possible for everybody to get $4,000? It is a crime to be part of this and soliciting people for it. It also means that you are putting your friends and family members at risk. There are way more victims from winners in these pyramid schemes. Let me stop here for a second. Now, this Maryland Attorney General Brian E. Froge, okay, let me just go pull that up. Attorney General, okay, let me go pull that up and see who that is. Let's go to Google. Let's go to Google. Let's go to Google and see who that is. Maryland Attorney, images. Okay, this is Brian Froge, all right? So I just want y'all to know, the people who are telling you these things, they are the same people, and not just them. They are the same people that's sending you to jail because there are no jobs. They are the same people who have this system in a monopoly, controlling your lives. First of all, Mr. Brian Froge, you don't have a license to practice law because there's no such thing as a licensed attorney. Yes, Chief Kalanago said so. And my email is in the link below. It's always in the link. So if you want to reach out to me and prove to me that a susu is illegal, then let's do that. Take me on CNN. Take me on any panel that you want. And let's sit down and discuss that. And you tell me and prove to me that a susu is illegal. Because first of all, you're going to have to show me your license to practice law. There's no such thing. But you see, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. You dig? Y'all will continue to perish for the lack of knowledge. This is the man that's telling you indigenous culture is illegal. It's a pyramid scheme. Well, of course, you have so-called aboriginals out there telling you the same thing. Okay? Because again, they are Europeanized. All right? Their mindset, that's why they will always be broken, disgusted, and be busted. And like I told y'all, I'll always tell it like it is. So he's saying it's a pyramid scheme. That's the Attorney General, okay? That's saying that of Maryland. Froge said his office has seen an uptick in pyramid schemes as the pandemic has resulted in massive job losses. Well, guess what? Y'all took away the jobs with your fake pandemic because you want to control people. You want to control how much of a stimulus check they get. You want them to wait and decide when you want to give them a stimulus check. Okay, you want to give them little lunch boxes because y'all want to continue enslaving people. All right, the Better Business Bureau and the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, and many other state attorney generals have issued customer alerts. It says, in Maryland, establishing or promoting a pyramid scheme is considered a criminal offense that may result in a prison sentence of up to 1 year, a fine of up to $10,000, or both, according to the Maryland Attorney General. But let me tell you something again, Mr. Attorney General. Okay, this is indigenous culture. All right, this is indigenous culture, and I want you to convict. I want you to convict anyone who know their rights and send them to jail for up to a year or a fine for $10,000, and see how fast you will get a lawsuit. Because all you're doing is playing on people's ignorance. First of all, I'm going to repeat myself. You are not a licensed attorney because there's no such thing. You feel me? There's no such thing as a licensed attorney. And second of all, gifting among friends and family and people that you know, there's nothing illegal about that. All right? So I just want y'all to know that what's going on and the reason why these people are putting that information out there. Okay? Because that's what they do. That's what they do. They threaten you with prison sentences. They threaten you with fines because they know you're broke. They know you can't afford it. They know you don't have the knowledge to defend yourself or to stand on your own. They know this. Because anything that you do where you don't need them, they're going to tell you it's illegal. And that's just the bottom line. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now because, like I said, now hear this again, right? It says, Briscoe said she was assured that once she got to the so-called water level on the pyramid scheme hierarchy, the money she would receive was a gift under the IRS code and therefore not taxable. But the previous prosecution of gifting circle promotes shows that not accurate. That's not true. The IRS clearly states that anyone could gift you up to $15,000 every single year. And that is on the IRS site. That's facts. So what you're telling me, the IRS is promoting schemes? And even furthermore, indigenous people ain't got nothing to do with the IRS if they know who they are. Your codes doesn't apply to me. Well, let me speak for myself. To me, because I'm an indigenous man. This is my land. Okay? And your statutes and codes doesn't apply to me. And you cannot make laws on my land. Period. So once again, man, y'all got to know, that these people, that's what they do. Now, let me ask you another question. I'm going to tell you what the real pyramid scheme is. You know what the real pyramid scheme are? I'm going to start telling you. Okay, you know what? First, let me just continue on the Susu. All right? Just to be fair and just to be candid, there are some communities that are not doing what they're supposed to do. That is true. I am going to, because like I said, this is about keeping it 100. There are some Susu communities who are not doing what they're supposed to do. Because when you bring in your people, they are using your people to gift their friends and family. And that's not right. You see, those practices are, it's not even illegal, it's just unmoral. All right, it's just immoral because they're not doing the right thing. So I have to tell it like it is. There are some Susu communities who are not doing what they're supposed to do. I'm going to repeat myself because when you bring your people in, they use your people to gift their friends and family, and you never get a chance to be gifted. So that's true. That happens, and that is wrong. Okay. And a lot of them are actually doing that. So that's true. So with that being said, be very mindful of the ones that you get into. But there's nothing illegal about a Susu. What's illegal is the practice of what some of these people are doing. And that's a fact. And like I said, I don't even think it's illegal. It's just that they're not doing, they don't have any honor in what they're doing. Okay, because their friends and family get gifted 2-3 times. And when you bring your people in, you're still stuck. So yes, that is true. But there's nothing illegal about Susus. But let me tell you what's a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is going to your job and your boss is paying you $10, $15 an hour when he's making $500 an hour on you. That's a pyramid scheme. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. A pyramid scheme is your boss letting you fill out an application, giving you $12 to $15 an hour when he or she is making $500 an hour on your labor and they're only paying you $12 to $15. That's a pyramid scheme. Okay? That's a pyramid scheme. But but CNN will not tell you that. The New York Post will not tell you that. Okay? You want to know what else is a pyramid scheme? A pyramid scheme is going into churches every weekend and a man standing up telling you to give you 10%. And some sky daddy is coming to bless you. When he's driving around in BMW and Benz and you're taking the bus to church. Why aren't they talking about that? No pun intended. You feel what I'm saying? So all I'm just saying, man, open up your minds, man. Open up your minds. These people want to control your life. Let me tell you something. The only reason why they're telling you it's a pyramid scheme is because you could stay home and take care of your family and you don't have to go to their jobs. Because you know you found a way. not to go onto the plantation. So guess what? All of a sudden, it's a pyramid scheme, right? Let me tell you what's a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme is you taking your hard-earned money, putting it in a bank, and the bank promises you 3% every single year. But they take your money and they invest it and they make millions and billions of dollars, and they only give you 2% or 3%, if that much. That's a pyramid scheme. Go tell Attorney Fruch, whatever the hell his name is, tell him that's a scheme. Why aren't they sending the bankers to jail? Huh? You want to know what's a pyramid scheme? A pyramid scheme is when you get a mortgage, which is a debt pledge. A mortgage is a debt pledge to put you in debt for 30 years. That's a pyramid scheme. When the truth of the matter is, as soon as you give the deposit, you already owned the home. But what they're not telling you is they are giving you an additional contract, which is called an installment contract. That's where the mortgage come in. You see, y'all gonna learn today. Y'all gonna learn today if you want to learn today. Because you don't know, mortgages that's a pyramid scheme. Because when you give your deposit, the house is already yours. Because they have already gotten approved for the full amount from the Federal Reserve. Because it's your credit that's buying the house. You already got the credit, but they want you to think that you are a debtor. You feel what I'm saying? They want you to think that you are a debtor and that they are the ones lending you the money. No, you are the one lending them the money. And they're using your credit that you already have and telling you that you got approved for your own credit. And now you sign that document, which make them an underwriter to go to the federal government and get the full amount. Let me just break down how mortgages work for you, just in case you don't know. That's why I will never get a mortgage. A mortgage is for dead people. It's a dead pledge. Let me tell you how mortgages work. When you were born, okay, an account was set up in your name because of the birth certificate. Sescovite Trust, okay? That's what it's called. We're not going to get into all the elaborate details, but I'm just going to give you a synopsis of what's happening, okay? Because the federal government between 1928 and 1933, they took away the gold and silver, they created what's called a digital money. Just so y'all know, we've been had digital money since 1933, which is called the dollar bill. It's a digital money because it's printed out of thin air. That's called digital. You see, y'all gonna learn. So when they introduced the new digital currency in 1933, they took away the gold and silver. What's tangible, okay? They took that away from the people. So when the people caught on to what the scheme that the government was doing, the people wanted to revolt. But they say, you know what? Check this out. We are going to give you a resolution that all your debts are already paid for in advance. In other words, it is the same thing as so-called Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ already paid for your debts. That's what I think is HR 92, if I'm not mistaken. All right, that's equivalent to Jesus, meaning that Jesus died for your sins and paid all your debts. So literally right now, you're not supposed to be paying for anything. Not light, not gas, not land, not anything, because that's already paid for in advance. That was the deal. But what they did was they gave you another contract, which was a birth certificate to within a trust where you were as the mother of that child to be allocated millions of dollars. So that's what the Federal Reserve is. The Federal Reserve is the accountants, so to speak. The IRS and the Internal Revenue Services are two different companies. They are two companies in one. One deals with the reserve that controls the money, and the other one deals with the accounting. They are your accountants dealing with your accounting. So now, when you go get a mortgage and you fill out that application is not it doesn't go to the bank. It goes to because what you do is you make them an underwriter. In other words, you give them permission to go to the federal government to send in your application to see if they will approve your credit of all the $1 million that you already have. So let's just say the mortgage is $200,000. They come and they tell you what they tell you. Hey, you got to prove. Guess what? You got to prove for $200,000 because guess what? It's already yours. You have the credit. But they need your signature to pull that money. So what they do is they have you sign it. When you give your deposit, that means you already own the house. But they have to give you a mortgage, a debt pledge. So when they send the mortgage contract to the federal government, okay, or what you call the Federal Reserve, they approve the 200,000 and they give the bank the 200,000. So now the bank is 200,000 up in profit. You feel me? And now they tell you you owe 200,000 with interest. So they keep getting paid over and over and over again. That's a pyramid scheme. But that attorney general will never tell you that's a scheme though. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of you think because you get a mortgage, oh, I own a house. You don't own nothing. You don't own it. That credit was already yours. From the moment you put your deposit down, it was already yours. But you didn't know. That's a scheme. You know what another scheme is? Telling you that you need a driver's license when you have a right to travel. You only need a license when you are for hire. Why they're not talking about that? That's the law. I'm telling you laws now, not statutes and codes. I'm telling you law. So like I said to this attorney general, whatever the hell your name is, Brian Fruch, come to Chief Kalanago and let's have I don't debate, but I will debate you, man. I will debate you and let's do it on CNN where everybody could see. Let me expose the fraud that y'all are doing. No state is supposed to take any right of a man or a woman and turn it into a privilege and charge for it. That's against the law. And Brian Fruch, I want you to show me your license to practice law in my land. You see, like I said, man, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's why you continue to be slaves and you listen to people who don't know. You listen to people who are there spreading rumors and propaganda. Go look at their lives and go look at the 10 people around them. Birds of a feather flock together. They say you want to know something about people? Look at their best 5 friends. Look at their best 5 friends and you'll know exactly who they are. So once again, just to reiterate, there is nothing illegal about a susu. However, be mindful of the community that you are getting into because there are a lot of people who are not doing the right thing. And that's a fact. But there's no judge, no attorney general could prosecute you for doing a susu. That has been part of indigenous culture for a very long time. So what are you trying to tell me? I cannot give my uncle $500 and then next week he give me back $500? That's what you're trying to tell me? We've been taking care of each other for thousands of years before you came into my land, before my ancestors opened up my land to you and gave you a helping hand and saved you. You want to tell me what to do? Nah, man. But you see, that's the problem. Hosea 4:6, the people perish for the lack of knowledge and the understanding thereof. And y'all will continue to perish because the system got y'all minds. That's what they have your minds. Because they know this is assisting people and helping people get off the plantation. They're going to tell you it's illegal, just like everything else. Every patent, everything that was created came from indigenous people. But what they do, they put a patent on it. That's what vampires do. How come they're not targeting the Chinese for doing the same thing? How come they're not targeting the Jews for doing the same thing? How come they're not targeting the Koreans, the Japanese? Why they're not targeting them for doing the same thing? The Italians do it. How is that? They're not being targeted. But every time you so-called Negroes and you so-called black people do something to help yourselves, they say, oh, enemy of the state. Oh, it's illegal. Oh, it's a terrorist group. Because y'all want so bad to be part of this system, a system that was meant for you to flourish in, because you have no understanding of what the system is. Because you are playing by their rules. Those are not laws, they're just rules. They could just make up rules. As they go along, they make up rules. Anything that benefits you, they'll make it a rule that is illegal. That's what they do. Anything that's going to benefit you, they will tell you it's illegal. And they put the fear of your God in you, or of their God in you. Oh, we'll send you to jail for a year. Oh, we'll fine you $10,000. Well, Mr. Fruch, come find Chief Kalanago $10,000, because guess what? He got a susu and it's running beautifully and it's successful. Because that's part of my indigenous culture. We are not paying people. People are not paying us. We are gifting each other. Go ahead and show me where that's illegal. Because Chief Kalanago got one. So you go ahead and find me $10,000 or send me to jail for a year and see how fast I'm going to slap you with a lawsuit. Come on, man. I ain't scared of y'all. Because I know it's only people who live in fear you would play these games with. Because anytime indigenous people come together to take care of themselves, it's a problem. But guess what? As per United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, we have every right to create our own system for our economic development. We have every right to do that. And the Susu is indigenous culture. Period. And the fear is not going to work. It's high time that people wake up and stop all this fear mongering. And you have people who look just like you get on videos and do the same thing. Helito. Man, listen, there's so many things I want to say, but I'm gonna just curb my mouth right now because I still have to be diplomatic. Because I'm not gonna allow these people to get the best of me. But this system, if y'all don't watch yourselves, this system is gonna run you to the ground. You see, they want you to keep waking up every single day. You have to beat the clock. Oh, I gotta be at work at 8 o'clock. I gotta beat traffic. I gotta be stressed out. I gotta get the children to school. They don't want you to be relaxed. They don't want you to be in a position where you don't need them. How come they ain't telling you jobs are illegal? Because a job is a pyramid scheme. I hope you know that. I hope you know that, because it's the people, your bosses, they are the ones making all the money. Because while you're struggling to pay your rent, they got the homes in the Poconos and in the Hamptons, okay? They got the yachts and they got the private jets. That's a pyramid scheme. But I don't hear nobody talking about, oh, my job is a pyramid scheme. That's how brainwashed y'all are. That's how brainwashed you are. You will fill out 1,000 applications to go get a job and beg for a job for $12 an hour, $15 an hour. Oh, yo, they pay me $20 an hour. I got a good job. Not knowing that your boss makes $500 to $1,000 on you per hour. And he or she is only giving you $15 an hour. Now, that's a pyramid scheme. Now, Mr. Attorney General, go ahead and prove to me that that's not a pyramid scheme. Why? Because they do it voluntarily? Because they fill out an application? Huh? Come on, man. Yeah, man, this is so sad, yo. It's not even funny. This is so sad. It's not even funny, man. It is really, really, really sad. That's why I tell myself sometimes I just want to get a piece of land and just go live in the bushes by myself and just leave people alone, man. Serious, because it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling how people could be so brainwashed. And once again, family, don't get me wrong. I'm keeping it 100. There are social communities that are not doing what they're supposed to do. That's a fact. That is a fact. Because there's no synergy. You feel what I'm saying? So that's true. I agree. And those people, they're going to pay for what they're doing and what they have done. But there are healthy social communities who are striving. I grew up doing susus, and it was successful because we had a village. Okay? I see the Jews have been doing it for hundreds of years in Brooklyn. The Arabs do it. The real Africans come here and they do it. But every time, so-called black people, which are truly indigenous to the Americas, they do it, all of a sudden, it's illegal. All of a sudden, it's a scheme because they want you to be their slave. That's what they want. They don't like the fact that you could stay home and get an extra $4,000 every month. They don't like that because they're not the ones giving it to you. You're not going to their jobs and busting your ass every single day, stressing yourself, trying to please the boss. They don't like that. So of course they're going to tell you it's a scheme. Of course they're going to tell you it's illegal. Well, guess what, Mr. Attorney General? You're a fraud because there's no such thing as a licensed attorney. And I got the laws to back that up as well. You see, you could only play on the intelligence of those who don't know. That's why you consider people like me a threat, because I know too much. You feel me? But the sheep, you love you love the sheep. You love the brainwash because they go to your jobs and they work 8 hours a day, 15 hours a day overtime, so that you and your family could have the best lives. You could have all the Benz and the BMWs and all the houses with the 5 and the 10 bedrooms. You could buy the best foods, and they have to make a decision whether they should buy, salmon, or should they give their children Vienna sausages for lunch. You see, that's how you want these people to live their lives while you live the best life. You feel me? That's what y'all do. You could go look it up. Go look up the IRS. Look up the IRS gifting laws. Go look it up. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. I think I have that somewhere. Give me a second. Let me see if I could pull that up. Because that's what these people do, man. That's what they do. Okay? That's what they do. Oh, where's at? Where's at? I know I got it somewhere. Okay, JPEG. Okay, I got it right here. I'm going to show you about the IRS gifting codes. I'm going to show it to you right now. So what Fruch is talking about, I don't know what he's talking about. And I want him to show me his license to practice law, because you are breaking the law. By the mere fact you having a license, saying you have a license, that's breaking the law, because there's no such thing as a licensed attorney. Okay? If we want to, let real be real. Y'all want the real? I'm telling y'all the real. Okay? I'm going to share that with y'all right now. It's right here. Okay? It's right here. And that's from the IRS website. Y'all could go look it up yourself. You don't have to. Don't believe me. Don't believe anything Chief Kalinago's saying. Go look it up for yourself. All right? Do your own due diligence. You feel me? It's right here. Let's read. That came right from the IRS. How many annual exclusions are available? The annual exclusion applies to gifts to each donee. What a donee is? A donee is a receiver. And it says what? Gifts. So giving gifts is not illegal. Mr. Fruch, won't you shut up? and stop trying to scare people because they don't know. You feel me? Now check this out. Let's read this again. The annual exclusion applies to gifts to each donee. What's a donee? A donee is a recipient, a receiver. In other words, if you give each of your children $11,000 in 2002 to 2005, $12,000 in 2006, 2008, $13,000 in 2009, between 2009 and 20,000 and 2012, and 14,000 or after January 1st, 2013, the annual exclusions applies to each gift. You hear that? Now check this out. The annual exclusion for 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017 is 14,000. And for 2018 and 2019 and 2020 is what? Annual exclusion is 15,000. It's right there in the IRS codes on their website. Go look it up. Don't believe me. So one person could gift you up to $15,000 every single year. The beauty about the susu is it's not the same person that's gifting you the same time. So it's not going to add up to $15,000 per person. It's different individuals. So even if you were to give, let's say you got a gift of, let's just say $100,000 for the year. As long as it's not coming from one person, then it is a tax exclusion. It's an exclusion, meaning that you are not supposed to pay taxes on it. So what are you telling me? The IRS is promoting schemes? Come on, man. That's why I said the people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's the problem. The people perish for the lack of knowledge. This is sad, man. This is really sad. It's really, really, really sad. The state of being that people who look like me are in. Man. And y'all brag about a $1.3 trillion spending power. That don't impress me. When you talk about a $1.3 trillion investment power, now we're talking. I just showed it to you. Come on, man. Come on. Now I want that Attorney General to show me any license that a lawyer had. Go show it to me, because there's no such thing as a licensed attorney. As a matter of fact, in the original 13th Amendment, there was a clause that there was supposed to be no titles of nobility in the United States. I'm going to repeat myself. Okay? In the original 13th Amendment, they took away that clause that there was not supposed to be any title of nobility under the crown of England in the United States, because they are still under the crown. And they ratified the 13th Amendment, and now you have titles such as lawyers and judges and all of that. Guess what? All that is unlawful and it's illegal. Y'all gonna learn today, if you want to learn, that is. But what do Chief Kalanago know? I'm just talking. I'm just talking. They're not supposed to be no titles of nobility on indigenous land. But they ratified the 13th Amendment and they changed it. And they took that away. And they start instituting esquire. So give it that's a title of nobility. That goes against the original amendment, the Constitution. It goes against that. But they took it off. How many of you knew that? You feel me? Times could never change for indigenous people. This is our land. And we are the ones that make laws on this land, not foreigners. But you see, indigenous people don't know who they are. And even if they know who they are, they're busy on the internet fighting each other. You feel me? So whoever you are, Miss Swindle, whoever, I probably know who you are anyway. Like I said, this is indigenous land. So I want you to prove to me that I'm giving false information. Prove it to me. That's why you fools perish for the lack of knowledge. And I call you a fool because you are. Like I said, no foreigner is supposed to make any laws on indigenous land. That's why they cannot make laws. That's why it has to be called statutes and codes and ordinances. Those are not laws. They cannot make laws on indigenous land. Only indigenous people can make laws. But once again, like I said, they don't know they're indigenous. And the ones who know they're indigenous, they're on the internet fighting each other and spreading propaganda and slandering each other and fighting each other. You feel me? That's the problem. So with that being said, I'm about to conclude this video. I think I made my point for today. Okay? So just to conclude, yes, be very mindful. There are some Susu communities out there that are not doing what they're supposed to do. That is a fact. That's true. But there are some successful Susu communities because they are doing what they are supposed to. And there's nothing illegal about Susus. All Susu is friends and family and friends of family gifting each other. Okay? Go ahead and prove to me that that's unlawful. Don't tell me illegal, because you could make anything illegal. I mean, right now, if people walk around without a mask, you make that illegal. Just now you're going to tell me, hey, oxygen is illegal. Stop breathing in oxygen. Oh, drinking water from the rain is illegal. Y'all could make anything illegal because that's what y'all do. But it's not lawful. You see, legal is of law, but law is not of legal. You feel what I'm saying? It's two different things. And when I speak of law, let me show you what I speak of. Because like I said, I have to break everything down for y'all to see that this man here is knowledgeable and he knows exactly what he's talking about. Okay? He knows exactly what he's talking about. Because they got y'all, they got y'all fooled, man. That's the problem. They got y'all fooled. Let me tell you what kind of law I'm speaking of. Okay? Let me tell you, because you see me, I know my stuff. I know my stuff. Let me go here for and let me share my screen again. When I speak of law, let me tell you what law I speak of. Okay? Y'all should be able to see the screen in a minute. Just there's a slight delay, let it load. All right, I am sharing my screen. All right, it's not showing just yet. Okay, here we go. There's a slight delay. Now, when I speak of law, that's what I'm speaking of. I'm speaking of L-O-R-E. I mean, I told you guys that about that years ago, right? But I'm gonna bring it back and reiterate, okay? When I speak of law, I'm speaking of L-O-R-E. Now, what is the definition of law? A body of traditions and knowledge on a subject or held by a particular group, typically passed down from person to person by word of mouth. You see, I'm indigenous. My law was passed down by the word of mouth. So whatever you choose as a foreigner on my land to put on paper, that's not our law. Okay? My tradition was passed down orally. And we gifted each other. We took care of each other. We had villages. We had communities. That's why your Moses had to go to the mountain and get the law, which is the L-O-R-E. and then put it into the LOW, which is a written law. You see, y'all going to learn today. Because you see, Moses, Moshe, the allegorical Moses, had to go on high to the people on high, the people who were higher than him, the indigenous people. He had to go so they could tell him the law, the LORE, so that he could write it down on the scrolls to make it an LAW. But don't forget, the original came from me, the LORE. I am the original. So Mr. Fouché, or whatever the name, whatever attorney general you call yourself, you cannot tell me about law. I created it. I'm the originator. You are just duplicating. And what you are duplicating is unlawful. It's legal, but it's unlawful. You are the one breaking the law, not me. But you see, when people don't know who they are, those things will happen every single time. The colonizers will play on your intelligence. The colonizers will continue to enslave you because you don't know. But so when I speak of law, I speak of LORE, what was passed down, my tradition. Susu is part of my tradition. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. That's part of my tradition. So I want you to go to any court of law and prove to me that's illegal. In fact, that's unlawful. That's unlawful. You may make it illegal, but it's not unlawful. And like I said, your allegorical Moses had to go on high to the people on high, which is my ancestors, to get the LORE. And it was so many spoken laws that he had to write it down. And then he came down and then he told his people about the LAW. But don't forget, the LORE came before the LAW. And I stand on the principles of the LORE, the traditions of my ancestors. Mr. Attorney General, there's no way you could, in any court of law, you're gonna beat that. You're not gonna beat me in any court of law, I'll tell you that. Oh, nah, this man knows his stuff. So I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm gonna leave it as that. So like I said, be mindful, there are people out there, yes, that have Susu communities and they're not doing the right thing. All right, but we have created a community and we stand on the principles of integrity and we are doing it the way it's supposed to be done. And as long as everybody play their part, each one pick one up, that's what we are doing. And there's nothing unlawful about that. And Mr. Attorney General, when you step up against Chief Kalanago, if you ever do, I want you to show me your license to practice law, because there's no such thing. There's no such thing. Okay? And just so you know as well, for the people who don't know, the only time you need a driver's license is when you are for hire. Other than that, you have every right to travel. But y'all want to live your life in fear. Go ahead and allow these colonizers, and I don't care what color they are, because a lot of them look like you as well. Even some of them calling themselves aboriginals. They have the mindset of colonizers. Okay? They are helping the colonizer enslave you. You feel me? So all I'm just saying is this: go do your due diligence. Do your own research. There's nothing wrong with family and friends of family, because everybody in our community knows somebody who knows somebody. And that's what we did. And that's what we're going to continue to do. Period. And nobody can stop that. You see, they want you on their jobs, begging them. Okay? Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. John Doe. Thank you, Mrs. John Doe. Oh, you got the job. We're going to give you $15 an hour. We're going to give you $20 an hour. And they tax the hell out of you. That's why the rich will continue to get rich. And the poor mindset will continue to remain poor and broke. Because it's a mindset. That's what it is. Y'all sit down all day in front of CNN watching a bunch of BS. I don't look at the news. They ain't got nothing for me. This whole pandemic and all this stuff is not affecting me because that's not my reality. You feel me? They want you to remain poor. They want you to remain at their mercy. So when you get jammed up in their legal system, you can't afford to sue them. You see, they got this thing locked. It's a monopoly. They got it locked. But you don't realize that. You feel me? You don't realize that. So with that being said, the information is there. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing that information. It's for educational purposes only. You do what you want with it, but do your own research. I want anybody to prove to me that there's such a thing as an attorney license or a lawyer license. Okay? They will try to tell you that the Bar Association card is a license. No, it's not. It's a membership card. And I have a recording because when I call them, trust me, when I call them, I always put it on recording. Okay? They stumbling. Oh, well, sir, you could say, well, some may say it's a license, well, some may say it's a not. No, it's either it is or it's not. And I have the recording. You see, y'all got to put them to the test. Put the burden of proof on them. Let them prove that these lawyers have licenses. That's how you people go to courts and get jammed up. Because they tell you, oh, you need a licensed attorney that hoodwink you and send your children to jail because you don't know. There's no such thing as a licensed attorney. When they pull you in their courts, ask them, show me your license, not a bar card or a membership card. Show me your license. Show me you have a license to practice law on this land. Thank you for the Cash App gift, Sister Onyx. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. You know, at least somebody really, I'm not saying others don't appreciate it, but thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You feel me? Any one of them, go ahead and prove me wrong. Go to any court where they pull you and they have lawyers. Ask them, show me a licensed attorney. Show me the license. Because there's no such thing as a licensed attorney. And we could even take it a step further. Ask them again, prove to me and show me a law that says that you need a license to travel. Go ahead and show it to me. Go ahead and show it to me. As a matter of fact, let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find something for y'all. Y'all think this is a game? Let me see something. Let me see something. Okay. Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to find something for y'all, all right? I know I have it somewhere in my documents. I just got to find it, but I'll find it. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I could find it. Let me go look it up. Give me a second here. Because like I said, this is not a game, man. I'm tired of, again, it's really up to you, man. Like I said, it's really up to you. Nobody could force you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the knowledge, you just don't have the knowledge. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have the knowledge, you just don't have the knowledge, man. Because I really don't get why it is so difficult for indigenous people to realize that, one, we are indigenous, and two, we have a right to create our own. Okay? And that's the problem. You think you have to depend on colonizers to take care of you. And that's why they have you living in fear. Because that's what they do. You feel me? That's what they do. Let me see. Okay, let me see if I can find that for you. I'm gonna find it. Like I said, I'm gonna find it. Give me a second here. I'm gonna find it for y'all because I don't just like to talk about it. I like to show and prove the things I'm talking about. I like to show and prove. Let me see if I can find that for y'all. Okay. All righty. Because y'all think this is a game. This is not a game, man. This is not a game. It's either you know the knowledge or you don't. All right. And, you know, foreigners are going to continue to control you. All right. Let me see where it's at. Where it's at. Let me see. I'm looking for, give me a second here. Let me see 6. All right, cool. Here we go. All right. If y'all think Chief Kalanago don't know what the hell he talking about, I'm going to prove to you I know what I'm talking about. For those who say I'm spreading wrong information. Okay. Because when y'all don't know, I know it's the ignorance that's talking. But let us go. I was about to end this bill, but y'all got me hyped. Y'all got me hyped. Indeed, Brian Little. Facts over feelings. Now, I'm going to wait for my screen to share right now. Okay, so y'all could see what I'm talking about, because I'm not just talking about it. You feel me? I'm not just talking about it. I'm going to show you how they keep tripping you up in their legal system because you don't know. Okay? You are legally illiterate, and that's why you always get jammed up in their system. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is not my code. This is their codes. 18 U.S.C. Code, Section 31, definitions. Let's go down to Section 6. Because you know what? Chief Kalanago don't know what he's talking about. Let us go down to sections. This is not mine. So, Attorney General of Maryland, I want you to tell me that this also is not real. Okay? Because y'all could only fool the unsuspecting and the ignorant. But you know what? Not me. Let us go down to, like I said, Title 18, U.S. Code, Section 31. Let's go down to 6. Let's see what the term motor vehicle means. Let us read here. Okay? Like I said, this is for educational purposes. The term motor vehicles means every description of a carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by a mechanical power and used for what? Commercial purposes. On the highways in transportation of passengers and property or cargo. Now let me ask you a question. When you are traveling with your family, are they paying you? No. So therefore, that is not a motor vehicle. That's why they have a motor vehicles department, because they want to make sure that you are always for hire. But of course, Chief Kalanago don't know what he's talking about, right? Once again, I don't know nobody giving it to y'all like me, so they could keep on hating. And I'm going to repeat myself. Why do you think they have motor vehicles department? Because the moment you say you have a motor vehicle, automatically you are for hire. Oh, y'all didn't know that, huh? Guess what? Y'all just learned something today. Another something from Chief Kalanago today. Okay? Title 18. That's USC Code, Section 31, subsection 6. Go ahead and read it yourself. I'm not making it up. It's their codes. It's their codes. You see, everything is there in fine print, but they say, you know what? To hide anything from a nigga, put it in a book. I hope I'm not talking to niggas today. Because you see, this man reads and he researches and he knows what he's talking about. Once again, let us go look at the definition of a motor vehicle. The term motor vehicle means every description of a carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by a mechanical power and used for what? Commercial purposes. On the highways in transportation of passengers and property or cargo. So when you go to motor vehicles and you get registration, of course you are for hire. Of course. It's implied. Man, listen, man. Let me stop here, man. Let me stop here. I think I gave y'all enough. I gave y'all enough. All right? So like I said, man, you know, just be mindful and be careful, like I said out there. That's true. Be careful. I will tell you, be careful. All right? There are people out there with susus and they're not doing the right thing. That's all I'm just saying. But there's nothing unlawful about susu. Okay? There's nothing unlawful. So I'm just showing you how the system twists things up. But they will never go to the actual codes that's there that they created. But I guarantee you, they pull you over right now. They'll tell you, "Oh, you're driving a motor vehicle without a license." Well, guess what, sir? I don't have a motor vehicle, and I'm not traveling. I'm not driving because guess what? I don't have any passengers. That's my family. That's my friends. We're just traveling. But every time you go to motor vehicles, that's how they trap you. They will not tell you what a motor vehicle is, but they have a motor vehicles department in every state, every county. You feel me? So y'all gotta know, man. Y'all gotta know how the system is. That's why I tell people, if you don't know the system that's controlling you, you will perish. You will continue to perish because you don't know. Because they tell you it's the Lord. No, that's not the Lord. That's something, that's a society that y'all created. And as an indigenous man, you cannot force me to be part of your system. Okay? You cannot force me to be part of your system. That's called what is it called? Forced assimilation. And that's a lawsuit. You feel me? Period. So y'all enjoy the rest of your continuation and don't allow the system to put fear in your mind. Once again, they want to continue to enslave you. That's what they want to do. So everything that you do that will alleviate your situation or the situation that you're in to make your life a little better, as long as they're not the ones giving you that better life. Okay? They want to be your savior. They want to be your Jesus. As long as they're not your savior, they don't want you to save yourself. So they could pull that lifeline anytime. Or you know what now? Let them wait for our stimulus package. Let us wait for when we decide how much they are going to get. Let us wait until we decide how many jobs that have to come this year. That's what they want. They want you to keep depending on them. That's why everything you do, if you cut grass in your yard, they'll tell you it's illegal. If you collect rain, they will tell you it's illegal. If you grow your own food in your yard, they want you to have a license. You feel me? If you cut the grass in your yard, oh, you are violating some code. Y'all don't get it, man. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Well, some of you do, but the majority don't. And that's the problem. That's the problem. I'm only one man, but I'm sharing the information. You do what you want with it, but it is what it is. But as long as you continue to live your life depending on a system that was created, a vampirish system to suck the life out of you, if you don't realize that's what's been happening, then I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay? So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your continuation. And I will see y'all when I see y'all. Because I ain't playing these games that these people are playing. Now, I'm not the one. I'm going to continue to rock and do what I'm doing with my immediate circle. It's that simple. And we are building a community, taking care of ourselves, and that's what we are doing. And that's tradition. I'm living by my tradition. And no court in the United States or anywhere in the world could tell me that's unlawful. So, Mr. Attorney General, first off, you're going to have to show me and prove to me that you got a license. And second of all, you're going to have to prove to me and show me who gave you the authority to practice law on my land. I didn't give you the authority. And third, you're going to have to prove to me, Mr. Attorney General, that gifting my friends and family is illegal. Those are the three things that you have to prove in front of a jury. And I guarantee you, you will not win. A jury of my peers, that is. You will not win. Anyway, I think I gave y'all enough for today. I'm out. Peace.